Good Tuesday morning, everyone, and welcome to June 11th, 2024 severe weather outlook for today and the rest of this, the rest of the next upcoming few days here as well. As you can see, we have a few little areas of this marginal risk here, these green colored areas over here near the Virginia Beach or Virginia, North Carolina area, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa areas, Colorado, and New Mexico areas, but we do have a slight risk down here in the Texas area. Basically, a marginal risk, or that green colored area, is a 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. Your slight risk is a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale there as well. So let's zoom in here and talk about this area of where the slight risk is at currently here as well. You do see a leftover MCV basically moving through the Texas area that is producing some strong storms, but that's not going to be the main focus. Down here where this slight risk is at, we're going to have to watch this afternoon, and I will pull this up here and show you. We'll have to watch this afternoon potentially here for the chance of some more storms to develop and some large hail and damaging wind to be the main threat with this. There is not a tornado threat with this at this current time, but once again, we're going to watch that closely. So real quickly here, let's just show you what some future model guidance is having. Now remember, future model guidance isn't everything. It's not going to be exactly what you see, but it helps give us a general idea on what could potentially occur as we head into this afternoon and such, the down there across that area. But as you see, as we progress throughout this morning, you have that leftover MCV up here kind of basically moving through the area and dying off. But as you head into this afternoon, some more development looks to occur on the flank or the end of that MCV, and that's where your severe weather chance is going to be for large hail and damaging wind gusts with that as that moves through the area and such there as well in the central Texas area there as well. So that's one of the areas of severe weather for today. Now let's take a look at the other areas though as well. You do have this marginal risk up here in the Colorado and New Mexico area. That is mainly for the damaging wind and large hail threat. It's not a big threat, but it still needs to be watched and such there as well. Showing what data is wanting to show could occur up here in this area. As you can see, not a lot going on right now, but as we head later into today, some storms could develop, and depending on, how strong they are and such, you could watch for some strong storms to severe storms in that Colorado and New Mexico area. Once again, remember, model guidance isn't everything. It's just one of the many pieces that we use to build the puzzle. So when you got to remember that that's not exactly what future radar is going to look like, but it helps gives us a general idea. But that shows you what could go, what could go down there across that area. Then you have this other marginal risk for the Minneapolis area and Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa areas, and this does include the Cedar Rapids and other areas there as well. That is also a marginal risk in place there as well. Not for a tornado threat. There's not really a big tornado threat today, but another thing for that small damaging wind and large hail potential down there as well, and showing you what data is wanting to show what could occur in this area as well. As you can see here, basically some showers moving out and maybe some storms having that possibility of developing throughout the day there as well. But we'll get back into this for tomorrow, because we do have another severe weather threat for this area coming tomorrow, or for tomorrow, and I want to show you that here in just a minute, because there is a tornado threat in portions of that area come your day on Wednesday, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. But we do have another small area of where a marginal risk is at for the Virginia Beach, Norfolk area here, and Kitty Hawk and stuff down here in Virginia, southern or southeastern corner of Virginia, and northeastern corner of North Carolina there and such. Basically the same thing. Not really, no tornado threat with that today, but a damaging wind, large hail potential there on store potentially for that area and such as we progress throughout the day today. But the main focus is probably going to be on the Texas area. But as you can see, some storms could develop this afternoon, and they may have that large hail and damaging wind potential with them and such over there as well. But real quickly here, let's take this back up here and let's show you what tomorrow's severe weather outlook is. And once again, for the Minneapolis area, Minnesota area, from northern Iowa, Wisconsin, and such there as well. You have that chance for severe weather. And when we take a look at the tornado outlook, you have that very low, that green area or that 2%, and then that brown area, which is your 5% for that tornado potential. Then that damaging wind threat will be there as well, and that large hail threat will be on the table. And potentially this hatched area basically means, hey, there's that potential for some very large hail or such within that area there as well. So that's another thing we'll have to watch for tomorrow. Looking elsewhere across that's really the only area with severe weather chances right now for tomorrow, for your day on Wednesday, June the 12th. Now let's show you a little bit of what some data is wanting to show for tomorrow morning. As you can see, tomorrow morning it's wanting to show some showers and storms potentially developing there across that area. And then as we progress throughout the afternoon, you see, or into the afternoon, some more storms could potentially fire, and then those will have that severe weather threat with them, that tornado, that small tornado threat, damaging wind, large hail threat as you progress throughout the day tomorrow in the Minnesota area, and more storms potentially into the evening and nighttime could be a possibility there as well. So that's one thing you'll have to watch for come tomorrow. And then as well here, give me 1 second, we do have another severe weather outlook in place for your day 3 or for your day on come Thursday. And you do have that slight risk from portions of Kansas through Kansas City, northern Missouri, and into the Illinois area and such there as well. So you do have that slight risk for severe weather potentially there in store, and that marginal risk from Michigan all the way from Michigan to portions of Nebraska and Wyoming and such there as well. So we'll have to watch that closely as we get closer to that day there on your Thursday, and we'll keep you updated on that as well. Once again, as we get closer, we'll get a little more information and such there as well. Looking elsewhere through the next 4 to 8 days here, don't really see anything on the severe weather side for the next a little bit after that at this current time. But real quickly here, let's take a look at the flash flood potential or the excessive rainfall potential, because there is that potential basically throughout this weekend. Oh, give me 1 second here. Throughout this week here, across the Louisiana or the southern Florida area and such down here, there is that chance of multiple days of heavy rainfall, and that excessive rainfall outlook continues to show a slight risk in place basically across southern Florida, at least through the next few days here. And we show you what some data is wanting to pull up on down here in this area. As you can see, according to what this is wanting to show, is it just continues to produce some heavy rainfall and such down here in this area. Now remember, data's not everything. It's just one of the many tools, but it gives us a general idea, and that continues to show just rainfall, more and more rainfall potentially ongoing in that area and such throughout the next few days. And so there as well. And I bet you if we take a look at current radar right now, let's see what this is pulling up, and it's showing you some rainfall, some storms and such ongoing across that southern Florida area, and that trend looks to continue. So other than not only a severe weather outlook, but you're also going to have to watch for those flooding chances or excessive rainfall chances in southern Florida and such throughout this week as well down there, and such there as well. Once again, still also expecting some above average temperatures. That's not going to be every day, but it just means that the average could be a possibility there as you look throughout most of the area, most of the country there could have a decent look at some above average temperatures, or that doesn't necessarily mean every day is going to be above average, but you have that chance for a few days out of this week to have some above average temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days, and that really looks to zone in as the greatest chance probably over the Illinois, Indiana, southern Wisconsin, and southern Michigan areas. And then some cooler, the potential for below average temperatures for this time of year could be a possibility up here in the northwestern portion of the country, but we'll watch that closely. But as always, if you're in any of these areas that we have been mentioning for severe weather and you're watching this, make sure to follow your local meteorologist over on your local news stations, your local National Weather Service offices and such for all the newest information there as well. And as always, we don't do coverage yet over here nationwide by any means, but just stay weather aware if you're in any of those areas, or if you know anybody in any of those areas over the next few days there as well. But definitely northeast or central Texas and up here in the Minneapolis or the Minnesota, Minneapolis, Iowa areas, stay weather aware tomorrow and such. Then Missouri, Nebraska, and Illinois and such over here on Thursday. Stay weather aware, have multiple ways to receive warnings, know what to do in case a warning is issued, and just remember, model guidance isn't everything, but it helps gives us a general idea when we take a look at these future radars and such of that nature. So that's one thing to remember whenever we show that. That's one thing to just talk about there as well. But one last look at today's severe weather outlook. Marginal risk over here in place for Virginia and North Carolina, northeastern Carolina, and the southeastern tip of Virginia Beach area. Marginal risk for a chance of a few. Basically, today's threat's going to be large hail, damaging wind threat, and that threat looks greatest in central Texas, but we do have other little scattered areas that we're watching for that severe weather potential, and we'll continue to watch those. Make sure if you're in any of these areas, though, to stay weather aware there today. And we'll see you tomorrow with a new updated look at the severe weather outlooks for the rest of this week and such there as well. Have a good rest of your Tuesday, and thank you as always for trusting us right here with your source for all things weather.